Hey guys, thanks for joining us for another episode of Counterpart. Howard and Emily reunited. Stay tuned to find out.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
You have such a radio voice.
I do.
You do. A very, very radio evening voice.
Oh, I like that. I'll take that.
That's a
Thank
thing.
you.
That's a thing. Your voice, on the other hand?
I'm listening to this song.
Don't you guys start. It's too early.
What do you mean?
It's a good song, Ashley.
Yeah,
It's a
it
good
is,
song.
right?
No, you have a radio
Thank you.
voice, radio face. I love you so
you.
much.
All right,
Porchia.
guys. Episode 4 of Counterpart on Starz. Both sides now. I'm your host, Ashley Allen, and you can find me on all social media at Ashley Reed Allen. Panelists?
Hey, AfterBuzzers, I am Taquila. Please come chat with me at Taquila_I am.
Hey, y'all. It's Porchia. You can find me everywhere at Porchia Carter.
And I did find you. And I follow you, though. I enjoy your feed. And I am Tehran, literally at I am Tehran all across the board. Find me, follow me, tell your friends.
That's right. Find all of us.
And our other parts.
That's
No, I
right.
mean, our other.
Okay. Oh, no. Yeah.
Counterpart.
Okay.
Counterpart.
I never said that. I never said that part.
Counterpart.
Are you
Make
not
it clear.
watching the news lately? I did
Like the
not
show.
consent to that.
Like the show.
Counterparts.
I
right?
need a wall right here. Like
For
a
what?
whole, the tunnel, the security, everything, just right here in this area, so that we can know this is separation.
Okay,
between
calm
our two.
down,
wanna
President
send-
Trump.
You wanna
Calm
send him
down.
back to the other side.
Yes,
That's what you're trying
there's
to do.
separation between our two. I kind of like Prime's side though.
I do.
I kind of like his side.
Too. All right, so we started this episode very confusing. There was a
Yes.
whole note swap situation going on. Did you guys eventually pick up what was happening?
Not till after the
No.
fact.
I still didn't know what was going on.
So pretty much what happened was Howard, well actually it was Prime, came out of the apartment. He bumped into this guy who needed help on the street. Then this whole note exchange swap thing happened and traveled from one world to the other.
Right.
And the note pretty much was a note from Prime to his friend Raj telling him to
take
remove
care of.
all of the personal items from his apartment.
Everything.
Because as in the past, when Prime and Howard have conversations about Prime's life, Prime never gives up any information. So now that Howard is going to the other side, he wants his friend to take any personal information about his life away so that Howard has no insight.
All the
His friend
personal
is-
artifacts.
His friend is
That's what
stupid.
happened.
Even his dog. His friend is.
Even the
Yes, his friend is
dog.
stupid.
Come on now.
Yeah, everything was wiped clean.
Yeah.
And I think the intent was to keep Howard locked
In
up
the dark.
in his apartment
But he
for the
did a
whole
horrible
week. But
job.
he
He
did.
did a very horrible job, and he listens to everything that Howard tells him to do. Like, you were on an assignment.
Well, he
now
barely
he's
even
just-
speaks, the friend.
Oh, he
Barely.
probably don't understand English.
No,
Wow,
he
that's
does.
not nice. So, okay, that's not nice. Raj, I felt like Raj spoke English very well. The concept is Howard Prime is a consummate spy. He is a spy all the way. He keeps his secrets to himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't want his counterpart to know any of his personal facts, even to the point where he told him that Emily's dead, doesn't divulge any of his own secrets. And that's how he becomes Howard Prime, that has the respective job that he has, is the fact that he's this ultimate spy all the time, down to the wire, no matter what goes down,
Yeah.
he's there.
And it
I
keeps
just don't understand
his
his friend.
control over Howard.
It does.
He'll always have that power and control over him because Howard doesn't know anything. He can never hold anything over Prime's head because
Well,
he
he's
doesn't
about
know
to learn
anything.
it now.
Well,
Well,
that's the thing. But
definitely.
even with the removal of the dog, because Howard Prime didn't even want Howard to know that he had some type of emotional connection to anything,
Right.
let alone anyone, not even a pet. Like, he just doesn't want. He wants him to see Howard Prime as this, basically like a
robot.
android or something. Exactly, where it's just this.
I didn't think
said
that was
Android.
wise, though. I feel like he should have received something about Prime's life going over, because we see that his daughter Anna comes in and just messes up the whole scheme of Prime or Silk being locked in his house for a whole
And
week.
Raj does absolutely nothing.
He didn't, and I wanted him to step in or say he couldn't answer the door or be quiet, something of that nature. Or Raj answer the door and be like, it's just me checking on the home. Whatever lie he came up with, that didn't even happen. So I feel like the letter was supposed to clear his apartment, keep him locked in the house, but that didn't happen. Now we're out in the open and he's trying to figure out his way. And I feel like eventually he's gonna be known. He's gonna get caught. Emily read him like that. It was very quick. So,
But you know what? A part of me almost feels like Prime doesn't care if certain people find out that that's not really Prime. Because I think he's underestimating Howard, that he's going to venture out. Like, he knows immediately he's going to stick to the people that he knows. That's what I feel
I
like.
actually disagree with that. I think that
I
Howard
disagree,
Prime
too.
is like, I have so much control over this Howard. I can exert minimal force and he will stay in line because he is such a wimp in that manner. And even with Raj, I mean, there's only so much information they can exchange in a short amount of time. So Raj doesn't know exactly what's going on, but knows that something's going on and may not even be aware of exactly how far this is supposed to go along. What we see is that when it comes to underestimating that Howard, it's underestimating the fact that he is going to step into the role of Howard Prime way better than Howard Prime himself. And that's something
Yeah, I
could
agree
see.
with that, but I have a different point. Like, I feel like Howard Prime knows exactly what he's doing to Howard Silk. He knows that locking him in the house is not going to do anything. He already knew that. So taking everything out because he wanted him to go out and find out about his life and to become Prime, because he has every expectation of him to do that. Just like when they were sitting down playing the card game, he play the card like you know how. Like, why you doing that?
Right.
And Howard just kept on throwing him some flimsy cards. He's just like, whatever. But at the end of the day, he know what's inside of Howard Silk. So he knows that being on the other side is going to bring that out of him. So I feel like he has great big expectations. And that's why he let him go without telling him anything. Because he's like, no, you're going to learn
He
this
wants
today.
him to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like a father who's like
yeah.
has a kid and then wants the kid to toughen up. Like, you're gonna get into this fight so that you be tough the way I'm tough.
Yeah, like I think he expects him to like take over.
So do you guys think that Prime even has any intention on returning to his side?
Yes.
Why?
What do you mean?
Do you think that
You think-
Prime is gonna end? Because it almost
Are
seems
you
to
asking
me,
us if he set him up to be there and not come back home?
Yeah.
Of course not.
I just don't. I think it'll be longer than a week, though.
I think it's gonna definitely
It's
be
definitely
going to
be longer than a week, but I don't think he did. I think he's intentional about what he's doing. He's planning to, try to find out what he can find and try to smooth some things over and then do the switch.
Okay.
I don't think he's planning for it to go as long as it may go, but he did plan for it to be the way it is.
And I asked that because, as we saw later in the episode, Claire talks about how she met her other and how her life was perfect and she was happy and she almost seemed envious of her counterpart. So do you think that there's a potential that Prime is really going to be able to enjoy and really take in this other side of life that he really hasn't been able
it's
to
the
live?
other way around. I think that Howard Silk
Is
is
gonna
going to
love it
finally
there,
get to
yeah.
live in his perfect life with
I
his
do too.
daughter and his wife and everything, and that Howard Prime is going to take the high road and say, you can have the life that I never actually appreciated,
I
that
agree.
you would love, right? At
Yeah.
the end. But for right now, I don't see any reason to doubt Howard Prime because as maniacal and manipulative as he can be, he always seems to be on the side
Maniacal?
of like he's a cold-hearted killer. Like
he
he
is.
he definitely is, and he's very calculated in that
Yes.
way, right?
Yeah.
So in that way, but even with all that, he still seems to always be on the side of good, as far as we understand the concept of what good is within the show. So I don't feel like his hidden agenda, whatever that may be, we might not know his intention, but we know it's a positive intention to inflict what's best for everyone and not just for him. I don't see him being a selfish character where he says Prime. Being selfish in a way of
Everybody
like,
thinks he's selfish.
but but if you look at his actual goals are actually extremely selfless, and that's the irony in the character is
Right.
that as he's doing selfish things, what is best for him happens to be what's best for everyone. He just is making it so that he comes out on top as well.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
But it doesn't actually. He doesn't put someone or throw someone else under the bus to make himself better, or he would have moved up even in his world and his job. We see that with the boss. We see this with Emily, but we never see that from him. He never divulges information, even though it could benefit him. He never goes, I mean, everything he's doing is for whatever this nature of goodness is that he has within him.
Yeah.
It's for that plan. And so we don't see him betray people.
Exactly.
And that's what he says in the part where he says that, you know, Silk's weakness is that he's loyal to a fault,
Yeah.
and so am I.
Yeah.
So
That's
is
the
mine.
key point of what your just explanation of why he is a killer, but it always has good intent into what his end goal is.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I agree.
So I felt super horrible for Howard when, of course, he learns that he actually has a daughter.
Yeah.
And then he actually learns that Emily is still alive. And they go visit her
I
in
knew
the
that was
hospital.
gonna happen.
I did too, but I felt so bad for him. And again, that's a testament to
happy.
JK's great acting. You could see all the different emotions in his face, him trying to figure out
Right.
everything
He
that's
was super
happening.
confused.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved every second of it because in my eyes it's like, you know what, this Emily gets to wake up for me.
Yeah.
Because he has been every single day for the past 6 weeks getting
Sure.
off work, taking
Right.
a bite to eat, and going up to that hospital and reading to somebody who's not even waking up for him. And now he gets to be somewhere where somebody actually opens up their eyes, and it's the person that he's been in love with for over 20 years, you know? And so it just
But
was
it's
a
not
beautiful
her.
experience for me.
So this is actually worse because it's not real.
And that's what I was.
It's the doppelganger. It's
Yeah.
not real. This is a honeymoon phase, but at the end, this isn't his Emily. They don't have shared memories. They don't have miscarriage. They don't have triumph and overcoming
don't have that
hardships.
bond.
They don't have it. It's not real. So it's like, hey, if I like a girl, but then her
You
twin
just killed
sister.
me and
I'm
Howard
not
dreams.
falling in love
all of
in
them.
the sister. I mean, it's not that. It's just, it's like, yo, okay, she passed, so I'm gonna be with the twin. No, the concept is, yeah, he's happy now, but the consequences of these actions are something that we see, and that's the whole point of the show, is that it diverges at the Cold War, right? So we see the consequence of action. And that's what a major theme in the show is, what a consequence of action. You could be Howard Prime, but because your world did this and you made these decisions, you did not end up that. So he doesn't have these feelings. They're just arbitrary for Emily Prime because she looks and feels like, but it's not,
But it's not her.
It walks like a duck and it talks like a duck and quacks like a duck, but it's not a duck.
But at the end of the day, we don't even know who the real Emily is. Like,
Sure.
like just like how they said it when they were talking at the end, he was like, dang, he has no clue who she is, you know? So either way it goes, it's all fake.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that his Emily is not the Emily that he thought she was. He doesn't know that. So in his mind, his paradox is this, that now that the doppelganger is there and awake and everything kind of like he wants, like a chance to renew and fix it, but it's not real. It's not his world. And that is the ultimate last stick that'll just like be pulled out and everything collapses. It's
Yeah.
the House of Cards.
That's why I was kind of sad that she woke up so quickly, because I felt like once he walked into the room, the hospital room, he was back into his old life. So nothing for him kind of changed at that point, not as drastically as as the events have turned. But once she did wake up, you seen him like trying to reach for her hand. If he had a book, I'm sure he would have pulled it out. But then it's like you just said, he's going to start living in this fantasy world, and that's going to cloud his judgment. That's going to cloud his reason for being there, and not be alert to different things that could be going on, and want to, like we seen at the end, kind of get his balls, somebody said last week or two, so to speak, to be more stern, to stand up for what he wants to do, like he did with Raj towards the end. So I was kind of disappointed that she woke up so quickly for him, for his sake
loved
at
it.
least.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like using drugs. Like, yeah, it feels good at the time,
Right.
and you don't want to come down off that high, but when you do, you crash very hard.
when you-
I
goes to the
don't
other
want to
side.
relate that to drugs. I don't want to relate it to drugs. I want to relate it to
What
it
it
was a
is.
beautiful moment and experience that, you know, one of the moments that you take in and you love and you cherish forever. That's what I want to relate that to.
It's not real.
drugs.
Leave me there.
All right, so we'll move on to
So Portia basically
Claude.
dating the twin. That's basically who you are.
We'll
I
move on
mean,
to-
at the end of the day, it's still Emily.
Okay.
I mean, you know.
Let's move on. So we'll move on to Claude and Claire, which we see them talking to each other.
Oh, yes.
And they're talking about this plan, and pretty much the plan is to take out Baldwin.
Right.
Because she's failed. She got arrested. They're not sure if she gave the police any type of information. What do you think about him? He's a pretty weird guy.
I don't know where his strings are being pulled, because at one point he makes you think that he is it. Like, we seen that his father-in-law, his wife's dad, is the director, but you don't really know where his strings are being pulled or what his agenda is too, and what he's actually trying to have kept under wraps. So it kind of feels like he's also at a tug of war with not only himself, but also his job and how he's trying to keep everything together. I think, Aldrich is about to be a snake in the grass, and we're about to find that out, which is going to upend his whole job as well. But I found it very odd. I was surprised, actually, too, that him and Claire are working together, I guess, from both sides, so they do know a little more than what was going on. Or Quayle definitely does know a little more about Baldwin than what was going on. But I was surprised that they were actually in cahoots to try to kill her.
Well, I wasn't surprised, but I'm trying to, I guess we're all trying to figure out who is the they that he kept talking about. Who is he getting his orders from?
I think Aldrich is the selfish person that everyone thinks that Howard Prime is. Like, he's out for him. He's out for self.
Yeah.
So he wants to move up for whatever chip is on his shoulder that he is maneuvering his way into the agency to move up. That's what his personal motivation is.
Do you guys think that he's the mole?
No.
I think it's too easy for him.
It's too easy, and he's too weak. Like, he's too weak for that. He wouldn't be able to have that kind of strength. Like, he wouldn't be able to cover it up. You can see it on his face because of who he is and how weak he is. Like, and he's just that type of person. Like, he would give it away. And too many people can walk in on him on whatever he's doing and be like, no, we know you. We about to take you out. You know what I'm saying? So definitely don't think he has that kind of thing. But I just know I can't trust Claire. So it's like, it's a lot of stuff going on with that. Like, she's a character, and she's very conniving and manipulative, and I wouldn't push nothing past her.
Claire.
I like Claire's role too, because she's really good at playing that role where you just don't know if is she good, is she bad, like what's her deal, because she pretty much set Baldwin up. Like, she played the emotional card. You know, they had their moment, and then next thing we know, she's setting up Baldwin to get murdered. Which was one of my favorite scenes, by the way. Like, Baldwin took care of some business in this episode.
But I thought it was, I should have been more. You know that, or they know, Claire, Baldwin is a killer. She does this. So you bring in just this one guy. I feel like they needed an army of people.
Well, Claire was a slave. So when Nadia brought her in, I thought it was like, it was a plan. She took the gun, clearly knew that this was going to go down. Right. Nadia went through saw Claire's emotional connection, went through with it, even though it seemed like it was against her inner self. Right. But she was like, okay, by whatever means necessary, I will get this person to trust me. Slept with her, which obviously, if you watch a James Bond movie,
because she didn't even want to at first.
It wasn't within her inner self. Exactly.
Right. She did what she had to do.
And then she did whatever, especially if that's not up your alley of sexuality. It's a very difficult thing to do. And then she seems that it wasn't, and she went through with it, and then took the gun, knowing fair well what is to happen, but without getting her own hands dirty.
Okay, so knowing that Baldwin is an assassin and knowing that Baldwin is a good assassin, do you think that she took the gun and pretty much at the end of the day knew that Baldwin would kill the guy who was coming to kill her? Do you think she knew that she was going to get away?
I don't think Nadia knew that she was going to get away.
No, do you think Claire knew that she was going to get away?
I think Claire's the girl.
Oh.
Claire is.
That's a good point. That's a really good point, because she could have, took the gun just so that, when her people get to her, they're not like, okay, why did you let her keep a gun? Like, why didn't you, set her up to where she didn't have a weapon to defend herself? Because just so that they wouldn't come back and ask her any questions.
Yeah, because she's been fighting for Baldwin this entire time that she should not be killed. So of course she has to follow orders in order to protect herself. So do you think that her taking the gun and walking out and knowing that Baldwin is the assassin that she is, that she was going to walk away at the end of the day?
So you think she knowing that Nadia was going to kill the assassin?
Yes.
Despite, and then have but I took the gun?
So she still did her part, like you just said, kept her hands
That's
clean.
what I'm saying.
So Claire left knowing, I want to understand, like you're saying, Claire left knowing that
her girl was going to make it
Nadia was going to make it.
Yes.
But she was like, I'm going to make it look like, so Or what if she did it knowing that if the guy goes in and kills Nadia, then
Her mission is
her
accomplished.
mission's accomplished. But if he doesn't, then she can be like, well, I knew you do this, but I had to
Right.
go through with it.
And
that's a
the-
very interesting point.
That's
Very
the
true.
beauty, I think, of Claire's character, because we really, at the end of the day, we don't know where she lies.
Right.
Because she's playing both sides. Yes, we see her fighting for Baldwin, but at the same time, she did go through with the plan to have her killed. But I kind of feel like she went through with the plan because she knew that at the end of the day, Baldwin's going to walk out of
Because
that
why
room.
didn't she just turn around and shoot
She could have killed
Nadia
her
when
herself.
she was sleeping? Yeah,
Right.
she's sleeping.
Yeah.
It's like she gave her that good. She was
Right.
asleep.
Knocked her out.
And then turn out,
Yeah.
because I was wondering that too. Like, why did she do that? I felt like she doesn't really get her hands dirty though.
Right.
She just pulls a lot of strings, but doesn't do things or execute things on her own.
Because she got high rank. She don't have to.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree. I didn't even think about that, but that's a good point. Like, she already knew baby girl was going to make it out, so she had to do what she had to do. Just make sure she removed the weapons, because now her hands are clean. I removed the weapon. I set her up.
Maybe.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. And if that's the case, she better hope that Baldwin don't come
That's what I was
after
gonna
her.
say. So what's going to be the aftermath? Hopefully, we'll see in the next few
Oh,
episodes.
Baldwin coming
then,
back.
because
She's coming after
Yeah.
her,
You would
because
feel
at the end of the day,
betrayed.
like, I was near death. Like, I could have died.
But does Claire take it? I mean, does Nadia take it personally? Because she also understands the nature. She is an assassin, and she understands the nature of this business.
True.
You don't take it personal. She knew, or she felt that her life was in danger to begin with, and Claire won her trust over. So she felt like, I messed up. You guys are gonna kill me, and then Claire said, No, I care
that's
about
why
you.
I think she's going to take it personal.
Well, I think
she
she's
lied.
going to take it personal, because ever since Baldwin has ran into her other, she has not been the same.
Correct.
She's been an emotional wreck ever since she's met her counterpart. So I don't know how she's going to. I think she's going to take it personal.
And the person to save her both times was Claudia. And so for her to be there and tell her that, okay, you can't always be alone. And I'm here to help you. And told her a little bit about her story and her meeting her other. I think that, again, Claudia's point probably, but Claire's point probably, but brought
Claire
them
and Nadia together, or Claudia. That's and we got to see them together
Thank you. I
tonight.
did
Like,
look
we
at
got to
the
see some
room.
Claudia action.
We sure did.
You know.
But yeah, I think that's part of her ploy too, because she brought Nadia and Baldwin, whatever, into her realm, her circle, and made her guards come down. So I feel like she's going to be betrayed, and we're going to see the aftermath. I think she's going to take it personal, definitely.
So just a little random question. In the midst of Claire's and Baldwin's conversation, Claire said that loneliness is a choice. Do you guys think that loneliness is a choice?
For sure.
I do.
And do you think is Baldwin choosing to be alone?
For sure.
Why?
Because of her trauma and past hurts and the things she had to go through. I mean, she was alone when she was with her dad before, they killed, before they watched him die, with the two of them. Like, she already know that deal. And then she's an assassin. Assassins, they don't be on that with people. Like,
Absolutely.
Speaking from experience.
They don't have... They don't have a lot of companionship. They don't have, a lot of family. Like, because their jobs is to put their lives at risk. So, I mean, they choose to be alone so that they don't have these type of issues getting close to people who could potentially set you up to kill you.
I'm in the middle about that because, like you said, I don't know the separation between where she was a child, she was with her father, she loved the piano, and that probably kept her a little
but
social.
Nadia told us.
But
She said that she hopped around to foster homes and stuff like that. It was hard for her, and then she just so happened to go back to the house one day, and then you see that's where Baldwin was living at for a long time in that old house by herself because she didn't have nowhere else to go.
That's a
That's
really
true.
good point.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
See?
Shut up.
So let's touch on Prime's life on the
favorite.
other side and Howard and Emily's interaction. She gets home. Howard invites Anna over for dinner, and they have this what seems to be
Anna
what's
tweaked
going to be
out.
a really nice family moment. Of course, it doesn't last because Anna has basically had to be the parent to both of her parents.
Right.
Where do you think this relationship is going to go while Howard is on the other side? What do you think is going to happen with him and Emily?
I think it's going to be beautiful. right now it's kind of like he's just trying to figure it all out. I really believe that Anna, she did the ultimate most, and she tweaked. Like, girl, you could have chilled. She didn't have to flare up at them and then dip out. Like, all he said was, how was work today?
Please, that's
you
not
know?
a fair
And
contextual. So we're seeing a sliver of what happened. She's lived a lifetime of battling between these two parents, and this is like they're all of a sudden on good terms, and she's had to be the go-between between them two, obviously, for the past however many years.
If you're really a parent, if you're really an adult, adults have communication skills. They talk about things. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So in order for me to believe that you're mature and you're some type of parent, when I ask you how's your day at work, just answer the question. Yes, we can move on to the topic at hand, but let's talk about it as adults. Let's
but
not
that's easier
throw
said
temper
than
tantrums
done.
and then run
she
out.
is always their child. You know how you feel like when your parents is like, mommy, daddy, like that's always going to be the situation. So she's furious at this situation. She's upset. She's had to be the go-between and listen to crap being talked about each parent and just be there and quiet. Now all of a sudden they seem to be going strong, and this is after her mother seemingly has another overdose, even though we know it's a hit because she doesn't know that her parents are these spies. She just knows that they're her parents, and so it looks like mom overdosed again. Everyone's acting like it's normal. Mom's like ruining my life. Like that's how kids think. Like, I hate you, mom. Like, especially white kids. And so we get to a point where it's like she's furious and fed up with them. Like, I understood that was actually a normal reaction. I was surprised that Anna didn't question, why are you not my dad and why are you acting like this? Because Emily figured it out really quick. Like, what are you, not knowing that there's a other side, obviously, going, but are you on drugs? Did they give you Xanax?
You invited me to dinner?
Yeah,
and at mom's house?
Like, she didn't even know he cooked because all the dad did, the aggressive alpha Howard Prime, only cooks barbecue. Like a man, you know, eat. And so now we have like nice chicken and souffle or whatever he made, and it just very uncharacteristic of Howard Prime.
Look, Porchia ain't buying it. Look.
So, like I was saying, you know, you can have that, but I believe that Anna went over the top. Now, in regards to how, you know, Howard is liking this whole being over there thing, I believe that because there is his child that actually lived, you know, he spent time in her room, getting to, you know her through the pictures, the bed, the setup, everything that he set up. Because remember, he set up a room, and he had a room over there that was set up even still, but it's just filled with things that were incomplete. So now you have this complete baby, this complete life, this complete daughter, and now I'm in her room and he's just taking it all in, and it's just like a lot for him because that's why he, you know, basically told Emily, like, yeah, y'all not together and y'all acting crazy, but y'all really lucky because we didn't get to have life. We didn't get to birth our baby. And now not only did I not get to birth my baby, but my Emily in a coma and you're alive. So obviously what y'all got over here is something that I would love. And I believe he's loving it. He's taking it all in and he's taking full advantage of it.
Sure, but it's not real. It's not. It's a fantasy.
I was
not
just giving
real
my
for him.
opinion about her question. That was all.
So I think that that was one of my favorite scenes of this episode is to see the juxtaposition between the two Anna's rooms in the two different worlds.
And it's crazy because Prime don't even know that they're having this conversation and that all this is going on, but he's in that room. Like they're having like the same thing in two different worlds, and it's like beautiful. It's just like
it was just really sad to see him have to look around the room and just see all of the different stages of life that Anna has lived that him and his Emily never got to experience. Yeah. And I hope that Prime, while he was looking through all of the baby items, he's able to
put two and two together.
Yeah, and take a
baby didn't make it.
Give Howard a break. You know, like this man, even though he's boring and whatever, he's gone through some hard things. So again, his experiences have made him the way that he is. Yeah. And Prime, I think this is a good reminder of that for him. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But I loved seeing Howard walk out. You know, he spent the night with Emily and, you know, they're flirting back and forth. But, you know, when he walked out of that house, you know, he had a little pep in his step. His posture was up, and you can slowly but surely see him take on the Prime characteristics. He asked for the keys. He said, I'm going for a walk. I'm going to get my tea.
He said, I'm going to walk wherever I want to.
Yes.
So let me get them keys.
Yes. So Howard is coming into his own, and I'm going to enjoy seeing him really, really take on those characters. What do you guys think? Are you excited? Do you think he's really gonna make that shift into Prime?
Well, just like Emily said, like, even though y'all are each other's other, you're better than him. So I feel like, for me, I'm excited to see him become who he's going to become. I'm not excited to see him become Prime because I don't want him to be Prime, because Prime is somebody totally different. At the end of the day, he's better than Prime. And I agree with Emily, in that realm of, how she portrayed that to him. So with him taking on his life and becoming the guy that he is supposed to be, I love it, because not only are you Howard with a good heart, but now you're taking on characteristics to show that you are somebody that is worthy of respect and power, just like Prime.
Very well put.
I like that angle. I am cautious for him because I don't want him. I'm with Tehran where you say it's not real. So whenever this cross has to happen again, he's going to go back to his life and what is real, and I feel like that's going to break him down or whatever it will do to him. So I'm cautious of him. I do want him to become more bold. I do want him to become more aware and known of himself and not let everyone run his life or tell him what to do. But I'm still cautious as to how far him being on the other side and having his Anna and his Emily there in his life will take him.
Okay. Well, let's get into predictions, because I'm not sure if he wants to go back.
AfterBuzz TV prediction.
All right. Who wants to start? I'll delegate.
Yeah.
Tehran, you start. What's your predictions?
Well, first of all, I think that Howard Silk isn't going to want to go back, and Howard Prime is going to know he has to. And also, I don't think we're realizing the effects that they're switching back will have on Anna and Emily in that world, because if he makes Anna feel like, but I love you, Anna, and Emily, but I love you, and then all of a sudden Howard Prime's back and he doesn't give a shit. Like, he's still Howard Prime, and so all of a sudden everything goes right back. That's a crash course that
building up to tear down.
Exactly, like both worlds are being collapsed at the same time. And also when he goes back and he's gonna find out that his Emily wasn't who he thought, that's like there's every single house is going to collapse at that point. And then what's left? So a bold Howard who lost everything. That's a dangerous. And so now we see like almost like a loop, a catch-20. It's like, then that's how Howard Prime is born. Except Howard Prime now on our world.
Exactly. Portia, what you think?
Well, I agree with thinking that Howard Silk is going to want to stay over there. And I believe he's going to, grow, like how I said before. And because he's going to want to stay over there, I believe it's going to cause conflict between him and Prime. Because Prime, I know he's not necessarily comfortable where he is, but he's just on a mission to try to stop something. And with, Silk not wanting to come back, it's going to be like, no. We had an assignment. You wasn't supposed to go over there and find out my life and who I am and try to bridge things together. And then with him, having interactions with Prime's daughter and Prime's Emily is gonna just raise a lot of, conflict between the two. And I really, dread that. I believe that, Baldwin is gonna come after Claire, something serious. And it's going to be on some emotional stuff. And they're probably going to get to a point where Claire actually, tries to work it out and probably try to smooth it over in the middle of her about to get killed, letting her know.
And they make out one more time.
And just letting her know, like, I knew that she was going to come out of that, or however that works out. But at the end of the day, Baldwin is going to get to Claire. And it's not going to be pretty. I believe that, what's his face? Aldrich. Aldrich. Yes. He is going to get in trouble for something because he's just doing stupid stuff. And I feel like he recorded or some type of way tapped the conversation that Prime was having with the old friend at the bakery or the little lunch spot.
Okay.
And I believe that, he probably tapped that whole little thing, and that's going to get him in some trouble too. So, yeah. Because this man just don't have no act right and no morals. He's just,
I like that. No act
yeah.
right. So for me, I had to look at it when they were in each of their Anna's rooms, but on opposite sides of the world. I was so stuck still wanting Silk to get some of Prime, but now I want some Prime in Silk. So that maybe when he does come back, he'll see that he does have a family, he did have a wife, be more appreciative to him, and not be self-centered like the daughter said he would be, or that he is when he's home. So I'm hoping some of that we'll just see the two of them kind of grow from one another. And then as far as Claire and Baldwin, I think I agree with you wholeheartedly that she's going to come after Claire, and it's going to be hard in full force. And I like this. I'm interested in seeing that battle too, because we think Claire is
This
as
little
badass
soft, pretty
as
girl.
or yeah,
But
so
she an assassin too.
I don't think
she was about to blow that van up.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. So we've
She was
seen
shooting
that
all
part
of
of her, but I don't think her trying to come against Baldwin. I still think Baldwin will have the upper hand. So I think that will be one battle if it does actually happen. That'll be really good action for the show.
Yeah. I think that Baldwin is not only going to just try to come after Claire. I think she's going to try to take down Claire and everybody else who's involved, because at this point, like, she has nothing to lose.
She got a new kill list.
What does she have to lose? And she knows that they're all against her, so she might as well take them all out. I definitely think that Howard is, getting his backbone, and that hopefully when and if he returns, because I don't know if he'll ever return to the other side, that it's for the betterment of him. Reaching a little further down in season, I wonder if the two worlds will actually collide or merge at some point.
Well,
I don't know.
homeboy at the little lunch spot let him know, like, people are about to come over from that side, and it's about to be a big, something big is about to happen with people coming over from that side with the Pope.
Yeah.
So it's like, we are in expectation of the two worlds colliding, and they know about each other, and something is, going to be wrong with that.
Well, I think that formal separation is going to be gone at some point.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Quickly, one word, one name. Who do you guys think is the mole? Just one word.
I honestly don't think we've seen that person yet. I think in maybe two more episodes he or she will be revealed, but I don't think we've seen that person yet.
Portia?
Isn't Aldrich the one with the blonde hair, right? Or is his name Quayle?
He's the stiff one. Quayle is his boss. Quayle is the one that's following Prime around.
Okay, Quayle was who I was talking about earlier, so I had the names mixed up, but I think it's Aldrich.
Okay.
Emily. No, I don't know.
Okay.
How crazy would that be, though?
It would be.
That would be.
I'm kind of leaning towards Quayle, that he might be the mole.
Might be.
But we'll see.
Yes,
We'll
definitely.
see. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Counterpart. I almost said episode of Starz. Counterpart on Starz. I'm your host, Ashley Allen, and you can find me on all social media at Ashley Reed Allen. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe on our videos. We watch, we read your comments.
I'll see you next Sunday again. I am Taquila. You can follow me on all social media at Taquila_I am.
And I'm Porchia Carter. Y'all can find me on all social media at Porchia Carter. And also tune in this Wednesday at 6 p.m. to my Black Lightning after show right here.
Hey.
At I am Tehran all across the board. At IAMTEHRAN. Please find me, share, and subscribe.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.